The Elysians were an enigma, and our first days of interaction with them were filled with cautious observation and tentative communication. The initial contact had been peaceful, but the true nature of our relationship with them remained uncertain. Dr. Evans, with his background in linguistics and anthropology, took the lead in establishing a more profound connection. "We need to understand their language," he said during one of our team meetings. "Language is the key to unlocking their culture and their secrets. Without it, we're just outsiders looking in." The task was monumental. The Elysians' language was complex, filled with subtle intonations and melodic variations that conveyed meanings beyond our initial comprehension. Dr. Evans set up a makeshift classroom in the heart of our base camp, where he and a few Elysians who seemed particularly interested in us could exchange knowledge. One of the Elysians, a young female named Leora, emerged as a primary liaison. She was curious, intelligent, and eager to learn about us as much as we were to learn about her people. Through a combination of gestures, drawings, and the gradual development of a basic vocabulary, we began to bridge the communication gap. Leora showed us around her village, explaining their way of life. The Elysians lived in harmony with their environment, using sustainable practices that ensured the continued health of their ecosystem. They gathered fruits and nuts from the forest, cultivated small gardens, and fished in the nearby rivers. Their tools were simple but effective, crafted from stone, wood, and bone. Despite their apparent simplicity, there was an undeniable sophistication to their understanding of the natural world. Dr. Carter was particularly impressed by their knowledge of medicinal plants. "They have cures for ailments we haven't even identified," she marveled. "Their herbal medicine is incredibly advanced." As we spent more time with the Elysians, we noticed their rituals and ceremonies. They had a profound spiritual connection to Elysium, viewing the planet as a living entity deserving of reverence and care. Their rituals were often conducted at night, under the light of Elysium's 2 moons, and involved chants, dances, and offerings to the natural elements. One evening, Leora invited us to witness one such ceremony. It took place in a clearing deep within the forest, where the trees formed a natural amphitheater. The Elysians gathered in a circle, their voices rising in a harmonious chant that seemed to resonate with the very earth beneath our feet. It was a mesmerizing sight, one that left us feeling both humbled and awed. After the ceremony, we gathered around a fire, sharing stories and exchanging knowledge. Leora and a few other Elysians showed a keen interest in our technology. They were fascinated by our communication devices, our tools, and even the concept of space travel. We, in turn, were eager to learn more about their history and culture. Dr. Evans took this opportunity to ask Leora about the symbols we had seen carved into the rocks. "What do these mean?" he inquired, showing her a sketch of the symbols. Leora's expression grew serious. She glanced at the other Elysians, who exchanged uneasy looks. After a moment of hesitation, she spoke softly, her words measured and deliberate. "Those symbols are from the time before." "The time before?" Dr. Evans pressed gently. "Before what?" Leora sighed, looking up at the moons. "Before the Great Silence. Our ancestors were different. They had many things, knew many things. But it all changed. They chose a new path, a simpler life, to protect Elysium." Her words sent a shiver down my spine. There was a weight to her statement, a sense of loss and caution. It was clear that whatever had happened in the past, it had left an indelible mark on their society. The Great Silence, as she called it, was a turning point, a moment when their civilization had chosen to forsake its advanced ways. Dr. Evans nodded, respecting her reluctance to delve deeper into the topic. "Thank you, Leora. We appreciate you sharing this with us." As the night wore on, we continued to learn more about the Elysians. They were a paradox, a people who had once achieved great heights of knowledge and technology, but had chosen to live in harmony with nature, forsaking the trappings of their former civilization. It was a choice that seemed both wise and mysterious, raising more questions than answers. The next morning, we resumed our exploration of the area surrounding our base camp. Dr. Carter and her team focused on cataloging the diverse plant and animal life, while Dr. Evans and I continued our efforts to understand the Elysians' history and culture. Sarah, ever diligent, worked on maintaining our equipment and ensuring our safety. As we ventured deeper into the forest, we came across more of the mysterious symbols. They were carved into trees, etched into stones, and even woven into the fabric of Elysian garments. It was clear that these symbols held significant meaning, perhaps a link to their past and the knowledge they had chosen to bury. One day, while exploring a particularly dense part of the jungle, we stumbled upon an ancient structure. It was hidden beneath layers of vines and moss, almost as if nature itself was trying to conceal it. The structure was made of stone, with intricate carvings and designs that matched the symbols we had seen. Dr. Evans was ecstatic. "This could be a major breakthrough," he exclaimed, examining the carvings closely. "These inscriptions might hold the key to understanding their past." We carefully documented the site, taking photographs and sketches. The structure appeared to be a temple of some sort, perhaps a place of worship or knowledge. It was both awe-inspiring and eerie, a testament to a forgotten era. As we explored further, we found a hidden chamber within the temple. The air inside was cool and damp, filled with the scent of ancient stone and earth. In the center of the chamber stood a pedestal, upon which lay a stone tablet covered in more of the mysterious symbols. Dr. Evans approached the tablet with reverence, his hands trembling slightly as he touched its surface. "This is incredible," he whispered. "It's a record, a piece of their history." Translating the tablet would be a monumental task, but Dr. Evans was determined. With Leora's help, he began to decipher the symbols, slowly piecing together the story they told. It was a tale of great achievements and devastating consequences, of a civilization that had reached for the stars but had been brought low by its own hubris. The more we learned, the more we realized the significance of the Great Silence. It was a turning point, a moment of reckoning for the Elysians. They had chosen to forsake their advanced ways to preserve the balance of their world, to prevent the mistakes of the past from repeating. As we delved deeper into the mysteries of Elysium, we felt a growing sense of connection to this alien world and its inhabitants. Their journey mirrored our own, a quest for knowledge tempered by the wisdom of restraint. Yet, there was an undercurrent of unease, a feeling that the shadows of the past still lingered, waiting to be uncovered. The days turned into weeks, and our bond with the Elysians grew stronger. We learned from each other, shared our stories, and forged a connection that transcended the barriers of language and culture. But with each new discovery, we were drawn deeper into the enigma of Elysium, compelled to uncover the truth that lay hidden beneath its serene surface. Our journey was far from over, and the shadows of Elysium still loomed large. We were determined to unravel the mysteries of this alien world, to understand the choices the Elysians had made and the secrets they guarded so closely. The path ahead was uncertain, but we were ready to face whatever challenges lay in wait. The adventure had just begun, and Elysium was waiting to reveal its darkest secrets. The discovery of the ancient temple and the stone tablet within it had given us a glimpse into the hidden depths of Elysian history. It was a tantalizing clue, a fragment of a larger story that we were determined to piece together. Dr. Evans worked tirelessly with Leora to translate the tablet, while the rest of us continued our exploration and research. The Elysians' village, nestled in a valley surrounded by dense jungle, became our primary base of operations. The villagers had grown accustomed to our presence, and a sense of mutual respect and curiosity flourished between us. We were no longer just outsiders. We were part of their daily lives, sharing meals, stories, and work. One morning, as the sun rose over the canopy, casting a golden light on the village, Leora approached us with a proposition. "There is another village," she said, her eyes filled with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. "It is deeper in the jungle, and it is said to hold more of our history. Would you like to see it?" The opportunity to explore another village, potentially uncovering more secrets of the Elysians' past, was too enticing to pass up. Captain Reyes, ever the cautious leader, ensured we were well prepared for the journey. We gathered our gear, packed supplies, and set out with Leora as our guide. The trek through the jungle was arduous but exhilarating. The path was overgrown, and the air was thick with humidity and the scents of exotic plants. The sounds of unseen creatures echoed around us, a constant reminder that we were in a world teeming with life. As we pushed deeper into the jungle, the sense of adventure was palpable. After several hours of hiking, we arrived at the second village. It was smaller than the first, more secluded, and surrounded by towering trees that seemed to form a protective barrier. The villagers greeted us with the same mixture of curiosity and caution we had experienced before. They were wary but not unfriendly, their eyes reflecting a deep wisdom and a hint of sadness. Leora introduced us to the village elder, a wizened woman named Anara. She was frail, but her eyes sparkled with intelligence and a lifetime of knowledge. She welcomed us with a gracious nod and invited us to sit by the central fire. The villagers gathered around, their faces illuminated by the flickering flames. Dr. Evans, eager to learn more, presented the sketch of the symbols we had found in the temple. Elder Anara, he said respectfully, we seek to understand these symbols and the history they represent. Can you help us? Anara studied the sketch for a long moment, her expression unreadable. Finally, she spoke, her voice soft but clear. These symbols tell the story of our ancestors, of a time when we reached beyond the skies and delved into the mysteries of the universe. But with great knowledge came great peril. The great silence was our reckoning, a choice to abandon the path of destruction and return to harmony with Elysium. Her words resonated deeply with us. It was a narrative we had begun to piece together, but hearing it from Anara gave it a new depth and clarity. She continued, explaining that the village we stood in had been one of the last to hold onto the remnants of their advanced past. Here, the elders preserved the knowledge and history, passing it down through generations in the hopes that future leaders would learn from their mistakes. Anara led us to a small hut at the edge of the village. Inside, we found shelves lined with scrolls and tablets, each one covered in the same intricate symbols. It was a treasure trove of information, a library of the Elysians' lost knowledge. Dr. Evans' eyes widened in amazement as he realized the significance of what we had found. We need to document all of this, he said, his voice barely containing his excitement. This is a historical archive, a window into their past. With the villagers' permission, we began the painstaking process of cataloging and translating the scrolls and tablets. Each document revealed new facets of the Elysians' history. Their achievements in science and technology, their exploration of the stars, and the catastrophic events that led to the Great Silence. It was a story of ambition, hubris, and redemption, a tale that echoed the rise and fall of civilizations throughout the cosmos. As we worked, we noticed a recurring theme in the texts, a warning about a powerful force, a dark energy that had nearly destroyed their world. The texts referred to it as the Shadow, a malevolent presence that had corrupted their technology and driven them to the brink of annihilation. The Great Silence had been their desperate attempt to sever their connection to this dark force and protect their world. The more we learned, the more we realized that the Elysians' decision to abandon their advanced ways was not just a cultural choice but a survival strategy. They had sacrificed their technological prowess to safeguard their future, choosing a simpler, more harmonious existence over the temptations and dangers of their past. As days turned into weeks, our bond with the villagers deepened. We shared stories of our own world, our own history, and the challenges we faced. The Elysians, in turn, shared their wisdom and their connection to Elysium. It was a mutually enriching exchange, one that transcended the barriers of language and culture. One evening, as we sat by the fire, Anara told us a story that sent chills down our spines. It was a tale of a prophecy, a vision seen by the ancient seers during the time of the Great Silence. The prophecy spoke of outsiders who would come to Elysium, drawn by the planet's beauty and mystery. These outsiders would uncover the secrets of the past and face the shadow once more. The fate of Elysium would rest in their hands. You are the ones foretold, Anara said, her eyes piercing into our souls. You have come to Elysium at a time of great change. The shadow stirs once more, and you must be prepared for what is to come. Her words left us in a state of profound reflection. We had come to Elysium seeking knowledge and adventure, but we now faced a responsibility far greater than we had anticipated. The shadows of the past were not merely historical remnants but an active threat that could endanger both the Elysians and ourselves. As we continued our work, the sense of urgency grew. We needed to understand the full extent of the Elysians' history and the nature of the shadow if we were to have any hope of protecting Elysium. Our mission had evolved from exploration to a quest for survival, a journey into the depths of a world that held both breathtaking beauty and lurking danger. The village, with its ancient wisdom and serene beauty, became our sanctuary and our battlefield. We were determined to uncover the truth, to face the shadow, and to help the Elysians preserve the delicate balance they had fought so hard to maintain. The journey ahead was fraught with peril, but we were ready to face it together, united by our shared purpose and the bonds we had forged. The shadows of Elysium loomed ever larger, and as we stood on the brink of discovery, we knew that our greatest challenges and our most profound revelations were yet to come.